Chicken's a great example. All of our research has shown that I can't find a single farm, with the exception of one farm in California, that does pasture-raised certified organic chicken. There are lots of people who do pasture-raised natural chicken. Natural doesn't mean it's not a legal word, so you can put natural on a package and do nothing. Pasture is important, and absolutely, I think every chicken should be raised on pasture. But if you care about the use of chemicals in food production, then certified organic matters. We do care, and so having chickens that are both on pasture as well as fed certified organic feed was important to us. And we were surprised to see that you can't, if you get organic chicken in the supermarket, it was raised in a barn, right, by a big company. And if you get local chicken, chances are it's pasture raised but fed conventional grain. We started our farm because we wanted to change in our own way how the food system works. You know, it was a political act in a way, saying it's hard to get food produced the way we want it produced, so let's do it ourselves. With that came the steep learning curve of running a business and learning production, and you know, you can't earn a living raising 10 chickens in your backyard kind of thing. There's been some other pieces of the puzzle that came along with it, but it started as sort of a food activist. You know, like so many, you want to see it done right, and so you do it yourself. I want to say our initial vision before we even bought the property was to have a horse-powered grain CSA. So we wanted to use horses to make grain products like flour and popcorn and dry beans and things. But we bought a pretty rocky farm, so the tillage with the horses quickly got the better of us, and we started doing more perennial-based production. So we've got our chickens that run on the pasture, we've got cattle that we graze on the pasture, we've got pigs that we run. So the focus has shifted more towards that. We got a grant and built a butcher shop in 2017, and we now have our state license to process and part the poultry, which I think is a pretty big stumbling block for a lot of consumers. A whole chicken is a daunting, I mean, it's not quite as daunting as handing someone a whole pig or a whole beef, but you have one choice: you roast the chicken. When we now have the legal authority, if you will, to, you know, cut up the drumsticks and the chicken wings, then you can choose smaller portions of the animal, you can choose what meal you want to have. So that was a big step for us, was getting to the point where we can now sell a case of vacuum sealed drumsticks to the co-op, so that we can begin broadening our market reach with the chicken product. I'd say it's been a goal for a couple of years now to test the waters on the market for pasture-raised organic chicken. And I think the first big step was getting the license to process the poultry ourselves so that we can get breasts and drumsticks and wings out there. The first step was getting that license, and now we're working on the logistics of how to do deliveries and how to manage inventory. And so short medium term is will folks buy our product for the price that we need to get for it, and can we manage the supply chain of the chicken. And I think looking a little longer term, it's about developing the biology and the resilience of our land. Chickens help with that, and the cattle are a big part of that. Grazing a perennial crop rather than tilling the ground, losing all that carbon. So, long game's the carbon game. Short game is make the business work. I think for a local economy, and certainly a local food economy, to work, there has to be an interconnectedness of the businesses. And I think so many local producers, ourselves included, it's easy to sort of get tunnel vision and think, well, we just have to do this ourselves, and you don't think about how to work with your neighbor or whatnot. An example of that has been, we've realized we can't do everything. And we started off growing the grain that we fed to the chickens, and that meant owning all the equipment to till it, and owning all the equipment to harvest the grain, and then owning all the equipment to grind the grain. And we have neighbors who are certified organic grain growers, and we've been working with them. We're not there yet, but we've been working with them to source our feed from them, so they would grow the grain. There's some equipment on there, and they have to roast the soybeans so that the protein's available for the chicken. You know, but we're hoping to sort of close the loop on that supply chain. So the market question is, can the market bear the price of both pasture raised and organic? And I don't know the answer, but we're hoping yes is the answer, and we're hoping we can start providing that.